I want to go to the west coast of Florida right now. Fort Myers. ABC's Tom Llamas is there. Tom.
George, good morning to you. We're in a strip mall in the Fort Myers area. I kind of want to show you what some of the people have done to get ready here. This is El Paso Supermarket. You can see people have boarded up their windows here, and it's still relatively calm here. It's raining a lot, the wind's picking up, but it's not that bad. You can see some of the signs blowing in the wind. And one of the reasons why we chose this location is because it's sort of out in the open. You can see some of these signs. We'll see how they withstand against the wind. And of course, we have a concrete structure overhead if we have to head inside once it gets too strong. And then on the other side of this area, we have the power lines there. That's usually the big legacy of these hurricanes in Florida, the power outages that sometimes can be 2 to 3 weeks. And I've been hearing a lot of those reports. On the West Coast, we are hearing that a lot of people thought they were out of the clear. They were in the clear, I should say. And then when that storm shifted west, they sort of got caught up. And that's why we saw a lot of people heading to those shelters so late as last night. At last check, when we were speaking to some of the emergency management officials here in Lee County, they said up to 2,700 people were in shelters, 14 shelters across town. And George, get this, 1,500 pets in those shelters. So they're starting to get crowded. The rain's coming down now, but still not that bad.
And Tom, you spent the week in Houston with Harvey. Give a sense of, I would imagine the news of Harvey made people there in Florida take this more seriously.
Oh, no doubt, George. It was actually a combination of things. First, you had Harvey, and then you also had the 25th anniversary of Hurricane Andrew in South Florida. So people were watching all those sort of look-back reports in South Florida, and it was reminding people of how miserable and how scary that time was. I was down there in Hurricane Andrew. I'm from Miami. It was a very scary time. And I think that really, painted a picture for a lot of people. I know my family got out of town as soon as they could in Miami. They didn't even wait. But I think a lot of other people thought, let's see what happens. Let's see if we get lucky. And that's when you get caught up in the storm. And Ginger's absolutely right. I mean, that cone was massive for so long. So if you stayed in an area, especially an evacuation zone, I mean, you really got to think about what you're doing right now.
Thank you, Tom. I want to continue to move up the West Coast right now. Senior meteorologist Rob Marciano in Sarasota. Rob.
Hey, good morning, George. Much like Tom, we're not quite in the thick of it yet, but we will be come later on tonight. It is breezy. We've gotten pulses of rain, but far from the center of this thing. To a person, the people that we talked to yesterday when we said, hey, what do you think of this shift, the shift in track, now that the storm probably will come directly over Sarasota, and most of them just looked away with disbelief and shook their heads like this. And there are a lot of people, too, that fled the storm. We've reported on this to the west side. And from the Keys, and now we're getting it here on the west side. Overflow from some of the shelters down to our south and Naples and Fort Myers. They are being accepted up here. They've got 12 shelters open, over 12,000 people in some of those shelters, and they're still accepting more people here. The coastline of West Florida, as Ginger, I'm sure, has mentioned, very susceptible to storm surge. We have Sarasota Bay that's right next to us. We have a barrier island that has been completely evacuated. The Skyway Bridge, which connects St. Pete, Tampa, to the Sarasota area, that's been shut down since last night. So first responders already starting to say, you know, it's almost getting too dangerous for us to go out. That will be the rest of the bridge is likely to be shut down later on today. So they are preparing, George, and to echo Tom's point on storms and amnesia, there is no amnesia here. Not only do they have the Hurricane Andrew anniversary, but Wilma and Charlie came through here in the last 15 years, and they remember those vividly. So they know what a Category 3 and 4 storm can do to the shoreline.
I'm trying to learn the lessons from that. Okay, Rob, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.